But what I really want to say about Dick and Elizabeth is that right from the beginning, I was taught the principles, the fundamental principles of the technique. And I was taught the, if you want, the procedure. Over and over again, Dick would say, now we're going to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
But I want you to say no.
Mm-hmm.
And ask for your neck to be free, your head to go forward and up, your back to lengthen and widen, and your knees to go forward and away.
Mm-hmm.
Over and over. We're going to do this movement. Do this.
Mm-hmm.
But say no.
Mm-hmm.
Give the directions. I am coming across people who come to me for lessons, who've had lessons before, who don't seem to have been taught that.
Mm.
And that is very seriously concerning.
Mm.
Of course, along the way, as Patrick MacDonald once said in a lecture to an annual general meeting, I think it was, we've all got to find out for ourselves what is meant by the neck being free and the head going forward and up and the back lengthening, widening and the knees going forward and away. And as he famously said, the first 60 years are the worst.
I use that one a lot. And people go steady on. You don't want to frighten them off. Yeah.
And, I've been down so many false rabbit holes or whatever, thinking that I've finally understood it. And then a little bit later on thinking, no.
You have to throw it all out and start again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Wow.
But I think what has always stayed with me, okay, so we no longer have any of that first generation of teachers with us. But we've got to keep going back, not only to what Alexander wrote, but to what they said about their experiences with Alexander. Whether it's Walter Carrington, Marjorie Barlow, Patrick MacDonald, Marjorie Barstow, Margaret Goldie.
Mm-hmm.
What they wrote or was written about them is a treasure trove of what one of our early students on the training course called clues.
Clues.
Yes, he would say if he sort of had a little realization, he would say, "It's a clue."
I mean, it works. This is the thing. If you're not going back to those sources, then it's not really the Alexander technique, is it?
That's it.
It's a derivative, and
That's
it gets weakened and weakened.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
And I have a lovely colleague who lives not far from me now, Bobby Gallagher, who was one of our students on the training course. I gave her first lessons, I think, and then after she trained with us, she went and did a postgraduate term with Walter and Dillis, and kind of stayed on there.
Oh, right.
Teaching for some years, and I work with her regularly now, and so we often talk about all of these things. And she was saying that she'd encountered some people up in the sort of Midlands area and so on, and she'd gone to work with them, and instead of putting their hands on her, they wanted to sit there while she sort of stood up and sat down, kind of thing.
Hands-off teaching.
Hands-off teaching, trying to work out, well, Alex, you know, visually what somebody was doing. And FM specifically warned against that. There's a famous story, which you know, that he played a trick on the students on the training course, because he came in the morning and he said, now, I mustn't forget, I've got a lesson later on, so I'd like you, can you sort of keep an eye open that my pupil hasn't come in?
Oh, yes.
Because I'm particularly keen to give her a lesson today, because she's one of the best pupils I've ever had. And so every now and then, when the time approaches, one of the students would pop out and see. And eventually one of them came back and said, no, FM, there's just a little bent old lady sitting there. And FM said, yes, that's her.
Yeah.
But what he meant was, and said, she is understood. Never mind what she looks like.
Yes.
And he warned against trying to figure out visually what's happened. You've got to get your hands on.
Yes. You've
got to give all your own directions so that you are open to, as Walter would say, you put your hands on, you think about yourself.
Yes.
And you feel about the pupil.
Yeah.
And you've got to be teaching for quite a long time before you begin to understand what that means.
Yes, yeah.
You feel about the pupil.
Yes, you're listening with your hands.
Yes. So it doesn't matter whether the pupil is a little bent old lady.
No.
Because if she is understood, as FM thought she had, what it meant to inhibit your reaction.
Yes.
And send your directions, something will be happening.
Yes, yeah.
Internally in that person, which may not yet show in her physical configuration, if you want.
Symmetrical.
Yeah, exactly.
Which leads me to think about when we were so rudely interrupted on our training course by that particular world event that happened. And we decided as a course, we were given options, weren't we? Decided as a course to carry on online and credit those hours. And as a result, we have this beautiful archive of you and Frankie and us as a course. You know, we recorded the sessions, and there's about 100 hours of us talking about everything under the sun, I would imagine. And it worked for us, but because we'd already had the experience.
Yes.
But as a result, I admit to having offered online teaching, and some people do. Some people are so converted by that experience that they do nothing but online teaching. It is a pale imitation, I would say. However, I have made it available simply because I know that there are people who might want to work with me, and they're just not going to get to me.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Is there a benefit?
Well, I just had one experience of that during the lockdowns, and it was a lady who had she was a very keen amateur pianist, and she'd been working with her piano teacher previously towards her grade 6 or whatever it was. But she was getting a lot of neck pain doing all this practice. I think she was retired from whatever her job was, I don't remember. But I do remember that she actually had done quite a lot of yoga. And I think in some way that had helped. She had some quite unusually subtle understanding of what yoga is about, which somehow connected her into what we were doing in this online business.
Yes.
And I just talked to her constantly about the principles, about the procedure, inhibition, direction, primary control, all of that. And after about, I don't know how long it was, a couple of months or something like that, the neck pain receded. And as long as she said, as long as I'm paying attention,
Yeah.
I can practice comfortably now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes, you can.
Yeah.
If you have to.
If you have to, yeah, 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 that's it.
And as you say, it's maybe that somebody has some condition which means that they would find it very difficult to get to you personally.
Yes, yeah,
In which
yeah.
case it's better than nothing.